Reproduction in insects. Insects show big difference in reproductive system and reproduction methods. This difference comes of a huge variety of insects because there are a lot of types of insects, so there are many different mechanism or reproductive system types in them. It is the most various animal group, includes nearly 1 million types. Insects usually are dioecious, means they are not hermaphrodite, but male and female are separate into male and female. Most female insects are bigger in size than males. A difference how they are different. There are other differences between male and female, which are the color, brighter color for female, like having wings or not, shape of antenna and legs make female insects different from male ones. The reproductive organs in insect. The reproductive organs in male and female are not differentiated until the growth stage after embryo formation is completed. Different kind of insects have different reproductive systems. So this part means the new formed insects have no ability of fertilization or reproduction, but until they become mature. In general, reproductive organ in insect is divided into two parts as inner reproductive organs and the external reproductive organs. Inner reproductive organ consists of gonads, which is testes and ovary, and a group of exported canals, which is vas deferens and oviduct. Some supplements like glands, which provide some membranes or secretions to protect or preserve the male or female reproductive cells. Spermatheca, or seminal receptacle, which stores the male reproductive cells which are received from conjugated animal. The external reproductive organs represented by ovipositor in female, which help female to lay eggs in a part of plant or a split in plant stem or dig a hole in the soil by this ovipositor. And the copulation apparatus in male, which is used to transport the male reproductive cell to the female during copulation. Male reproductive system in insects consists of the parts and structures like two testes, which are located above the digestive tube on its side. Two testes consist of a group of small tubes called seminiferous tubes, the term which we remember from the beginning of chapter from the spermatogenesis, which their periphery contains some germ cells then to form oogonia. Oogonia is the primary step in sperm formation. Seminiferous tubules open into small canal on the same side called vas deferens. The vas deferens in planaria in earthworm, the same similar parts and similar function. The front part of vas deferens is connected to the testis and the back part is connected to the seminal vesicle. So the part vas deferens, one side connected to the testis and one side connected to the seminal vesicle, which wide area of vas deferens. And seminal vesicle means the part of vas deferens which is enlarged or get wider to store the male reproductive cells. Two vas deferens units to form ejaculatory duct, which extend into the penis, then opens in the end of it the reproductive opening, which release the sperms from it. Two accessory glands, one and two accessory glands, which locate the beginning of ejaculatory duct. They secrete mucous liquid which surround the sperm to preserve the sperm and form a sac structure around the sperm. We call it sperm sac. So a sac-like structure which preserves the sperm until meet with the egg. The female reproductive system in insect. So the drawing of male and female reproductive in insect are included in exam from the planaria, earthworm, insect and frog. The planaria included also, but the most frequently asked question is the drawing the male or female reproductive system in insect. Female reproductive system consists of the following parts and structure: pair of ovaries. Each one of them consists of number of tubes called ovarioles. That each of these lines or tubes, they are ovarioles. By the total, all of them, we call them what? One of them, ovary. Ovarioles contain oogonia and oocyte. We remember the oogonia at the first step in oogenesis, and the next stage contain primary or secondary oocyte, and also contain nurse cells which provide food or nutrition for oogonia and oocytes. So as oogonia comes down from the type and oogonia, primary oocyte, secondary oocyte, ooblast, and then when it enter the oviduct, it forms the mature egg, ovum. The two oviducts on the side at the back of each ovary connected to an oviduct on each side. Two oviducts on this side unite to form the main oviduct. Seminal receptacle, this is a sexual tract below the female reproductive system. In most insects and some insects have 2 or 3 seminal receptacles. Usually a gland associated with the seminal receptacle which secrete a liquid to keep the sperms alive while they stay here. We said the seminal receptacle stores the male reproductive cell which received from conjugated animal, and insect use this male reproductive cells as the egg formation completed. So not one time, they can store them for a long time. So during this long time, the gland of seminal receptacle secretes some liquid to keep them alive. Seminal receptacle connected to the back wall of vagina, and it receives the sperms during the mating. After that, releases them to the fertilized eggs. So after they store it in seminal receptacle, the eggs become mature. One egg, one sperm, and fertilization happen. Accessory glands, like we see 1 and 2 accessory glands, represented by pair of glands which are connected to the end of it, means end of the vagina. To be open, vagina is back part of the reproductive system, and the main oviduct opens function of the accessory glands, which varies in insect. In some insect, glands are responsible to form ovisac. How we study this? Accessory glands form a membrane to preserve the sperms. We call it sperm sac, but in female forms the ovisac, like in cockroaches. It also uses the defense as in bee, and also in ants a different function, like mark the path to find their way. So ovaries form the female reproductive cells, pass through ovarioles. During these steps of ovum formation, the nurse cells feed them, then mature egg enter the oviduct to the main oviduct. Fertilization happen in last part of female reproductive system in insect, with the sperms stored in seminal receptacle. Fertilization and reproduction takes place when adult insect, male and female, from the same type meet, and then mating will take place. During the mating, the male reproductive opening slopes on the female reproductive opening. So the male ejaculates the sperm into the vagina, and the female releases its mature egg in the vagina to the sperm fertilize the eggs. Means that fertilization is internally, not externally, like in earthworm. Female insect usually lays its zygote in places which have suitable environment for its growth. We said use the ovipositor. It lays the eggs in holes which it digs them by ovipositor, or sticks them to plant leaves, or lays them in holes digs in a certain plant stem. In this case, insects are called oviparous, and the reproduction type is ovipary. Means if fertilization happen internally, zygote formed, but the development of embryo externally, not in female body, but in soil or a part of stem or leaves of plant. internal fertilization, external development. Insects are called oviparous, and kind of reproduction, ovipary. While in some other insects, they lays larvae, but not fertilized egg. These insects are called viviparous, and all can be ovoviviparous. So in this case, mean the insect internal fertilization, internal development, but only what? Not zygote, but a young insect comes out, like birth in mammals.